You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
Well, just my thoughts podcast. We're probably like on episode 8 now. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed every bit of it. I see the commentary. I see me getting absolutely cremated in the comment section by the ladies who be upset because I be going hard. But it is what it is. I respect it. It's all in the game. But I want to introduce my co-host, the beautiful Dominique from Talk to Me Nice uh, podcast herself. And I want you guys, I will pin a link to her latest video. I want you guys to go check it out and subscribe to her channel as well on here. And, I want to start off. First of all, how you doing?
I'm so good. What's today? Tuesday? Happy Turn Up Tuesday.
Today is Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday?
It's Tuesday. Yeah, it's the week is going by pretty quick.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, well, you looking beautiful as usual. So we're gonna have a great show tonight. But I want to start off by saying, um, you know, I always say on this channel, you know, I put God first. I don't put my faith in no celebrities. I only put my faith in God. And I stand on that. And I feel like a lot of people don't stand on that. I feel like they say that, but they don't stand on that. They're fan struck, and um I think that it blinds a lot of people being mega fans of certain people. It blinds you because you love their talent, their ability, versus what vast majority of other things are telling you about this person. Um, like for example, if 100 people say something about one person, and most of these people don't know each other, but they're all saying something similar about that person, I might surmise that something might be wrong with this person. I'm not going to demonize every single person if you got damn near all these people saying something about a person when I wasn't even there. And so now it's come up, and I'm gonna need you to bear with me tonight because this one's gonna get real nasty for people in the comments. Because Mike has a lot of fans. He has a lot of people. I like Michael Jackson's music. Like I'm gonna sit here and admit to you, I like his music. I like how he performs. I like his dance, all that other stuff. I like him as an entertainer, right? But I'm gonna say this: there are more allegations that have come out now, and so not only are there allegations, there's new paperwork that's come out that is just damning. It's beyond devastating. Now, I put this on the screen because we didn't talk about this the other day because something else came up. But these are the new allegations that are coming out against Michael Jackson now. And somebody says, why keep bringing this up? Because people allege that they were affected, people that were young. And that means something. It has to mean something. And for everybody in the comment section, just to, I want you to think about something. How can anybody come out with allegations if everybody's just going to dismiss them because you say, hey, this is a celebrity? Oh, this is a celebrity. I like them. Shut up, man. They're lies. Shut up. They're all lying. Well, before I even get into this, was the maids lying? The maids who were working with Michael Jackson came out, not for any money, didn't sue Michael Jackson or anything. Think about this. The maid did not sue Michael Jackson, didn't ask for any amount of money. And the maid came out, and we're going to get into what she said tonight. And I'm going to let you just respond to these things I bring forth to you tonight, right? Because these are some of the worst. This out of everything I've heard about Michael Jackson, it broke my spirit to read these allegations because these were his biggest defenders. The people I'm about to tell you about tonight, they were his biggest defenders. And now they've come out recently and basically, I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to let you react, and then I'm going to read some more. I'm going to go into some more of the different statements over the years, things that the people have said, things that Mike have said, and I want to get to this. So It's the Cascio family. The Cascio family, right? They've all come out with allegations against Mike. Now, the Cascio siblings from New Jersey, these people were longtime close associates of Michael Jackson, often described as his quote unquote second family. Now, their father, Dominic Cascio Sr., he met Michael Jackson while working as a manager at a luxury Manhattan hotel in the 1980s, where Michael Jackson frequently stayed. The family maintained a close relationship with Michael Jackson for about 25 years, including visits to Netherland Ranch, travel on tours, such as the Dangerous Tour and the History World Tours in the 1990s, and stays in various locations. Now, the siblings previously defended Michael Jackson publicly against the PDF allegations. This included appearances on Oprah Winfrey Show, a 2010 interview where Eddie, Frank, Marie Nicole denied any improprieties when asked directly, and other statements. Now, Frank's memoir and family support during Michael Jackson's 2005 criminal trial portrayed him positively. They were his biggest defenders. And now they claimed that not only were they groomed, but that they were brainwashed to act as Michael Jackson's soldiers, defending him publicly while concealing his alleged abuse. Now, many say that the 2019 HBO documentary Leaving Netherland helped deprogram them and led to the realization of the abuse they dealt with. Now, before I get into their allegations, before I get to that part, I want you to listen to this, because I'm going to let you cook on this. I want you to listen to this, and I want to get back to this. This is the maid. This is one of the maids that worked for Michael Jackson, right? This is what she had to say.
I did find underwears that were men's briefs in the walk-in closet, and they were, I don't like to say this, they were like crunchy, hard, with yellow stains all over them. I didn't know who they belonged to, because the little boys started wearing Michael's briefs, and they would leave their underwears inside his drawer.
Let's stop this right here. So she said that she found crusty drawers in the closet. Now, this is the maid who worked there. Now, this ain't no Tom, Dick, or Harry, or somebody on the internet saying, "Hey, man, it's a lie, man. It's all lies, man." No. This the maid who worked there. Now, I ain't got one maid. I got multiple maids. But let's get back to this.
The more Adrian saw, more convinced she was that Michael Jackson was a predator. A feeling she says was shared by other staff at Neverland.
There was a lot of Vaseline at Neverland. Sometimes it was found in the golf carts when Mr. Jackson would take off with the boys.
Vaseline?
Yeah, Vaseline. And there was a lot of Vaseline in Michael's bedroom. It was actually all over the ranch.
Is there possibly an innocent explanation for that?
I don't think so.
Now, once again, she's not suing for any money. In fact, she's shown money that Michael Jackson paid her. Michael Jackson paid the maid $300, according to her, and she showed the money of hush money because she lied for him one time. And she said that his guards threatened her life to unalive her if she ever revealed what she saw. Now, let's keep going, because this is very important before I get back to these other allegations.
What disturbed Adrian the most was the way the pop star would be physical with the kids who were entrusted to his care.
They were sitting on his lap, the kids. I just saw a lot of maybe fondling, him maybe rubbing his hands and kids.
And this is not now. She said this. This is the interview from the maid from almost 6, 7, 8 years ago. This is the interview from the maid almost 7 or 8 years ago. Now listen to what I just said. You can say everybody's lying, but it's insane to say all of these people lying when she's not suing Michael Jackson. She's not looking for any money. She's not suing him. She's not looking for any money. In fact, she asked for forgiveness for lying for him. Let's keep going.
Kissing him,
When you say fondling,
hugging, kind of petting the kids,
patting the kids where?
kind of by the rear end. I didn't think it was appropriate because they're not his children, you know? I just didn't think it was right.
Did you ever talk to anybody about it?
You know, I signed a confidentiality agreement, and I was already conditioned and programmed, you don't question it. And we were told to stay away from the family. You're just a maid, you do your job.
Every time we were together, it happened. There was no night that went by that
So the person said the FBI investigated him 10 years ago and didn't find nothing. That's a lie. In fact, the FBI came out. No, excuse me, not the FBI. In fact, the LAPD came out and said that they actually confirmed one of the accuser's allegations against Mike because they took pictures and confirmed his description of Mike's private area. And that when Mike paid that same boy $23 million, Jordan Chandler, look it up, and he disappeared, his parents took him away and he disappeared and they dropped the charges against Mike. And that's the only reason why that case didn't go through. The other case you're talking about came years later. It was multiple other allegations. One went to court. One. And the lady who's speaking now says that she was threatened. Her life was threatened. And that in court, she lied for Michael Jackson in that same trial. And that she feels so bad that she had covered up for him. And to the person who says all of these different things, I want y'all to listen to this, because his own daughter don't believe him now. And not only that, I want to get back to this part. The Cascio family, Dominique, described Michael Jackson as a serious PDF predator who, over the course of more than a decade, drugged, R-worded, and sexually assaulted each of these Cascio kids, beginning when some of them were as young as 7 or 8 years old. They claim that Michael Jackson used his celebrity, which all these people praise now. They don't care about nothing else. All they care is about celebrity. They don't care about anything else, Dominique. All they care about is your celebrity status. They don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter. If you're a regular person, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a shit if you're a regular. If you're a regular person, you don't have no case. Because these people praise Michael Jackson. They praise his celebrity. They claim that Michael Jackson used his wealth, his celebrity, lavish gifts, obsessive attention, declarations of love, need, and complaints about his own childhood to isolate the children emotionally and physically from parents and each other. They claim that he manipulated the parents to grant him unsupervised access. Now, Dominique, remember when we just played the other day? Michael Jackson saying, hey, if you don't let me sleep with your kids, something's wacky about you. Michael Jackson said you should have no problem with him sleeping with your kids. And you had people in here that was okay with that shit. I could not believe it. And they come and ask, oh, where are the parents? Where are the parents? They thinking like you. That's the problem. When y'all ask where are the parents, they're thinking like you. Praising celebrities. Giving celebrities passes. See no evil, hear no evil. They accuse him of manipulating the parents to grant him unsupervised access to the parents should be locked up too. They accused Michael Jackson, this is the new people who was defending him, of plying them with alcohol, calling wine, listen to this, Dominique, quote unquote, Jesus juice, and hard liquor, which he allegedly called, quote unquote, Disney juice, and hard drugs to make them compliant, often in childlike terms. Locations included the wine cellar at Neverland, as well as, and let me show you this, they will claim that this happened at the homes of Elton John, Elizabeth Taylor. See, I'm going to tell you something, but let's keep going. Let's keep going, right? They accuse of repeated sexual assault and all wording of each one of those Cascio kids over the years, including, and people say, I don't believe it, I don't believe it, I don't believe it. You don't believe anybody. You won't believe if your own kids told you something happened to them. Something's wrong with y'all. I am disappointed in our nation, in our country, in our world. I am thoroughly disappointed. They do the same shit to Donald Trump. When anybody has any allegations against Donald Trump and Epstein, they do the same shit. They worship man. It destroys me because we have a nation full of people going straight to hell. Straight to hell. They accused Michael Jackson of choking his chicken in their presence, if you catch my drift, fondling, and even more extreme acts. Abuse allegedly continued into their teenage years, in at least one case into adulthood. Michael Jackson allegedly, he was accused of using euphemisms such as, can I have a meeting? Yogi tea, Neverland, and go to Disneyland to signal or initiate quote unquote extreme sex acts. They accused Michael Jackson of showing them PDF videos, illegal videos, and photos of these youngins to normalize that behavior. They accused him and said that he instructed them to avoid therapists, stay away from women. He described negatively as evil, sneaky liars who could smell sexual activity. This is what they're saying that Mike did. And in some cases, convinced the parents to pull the children from the school to prevent disclosure and increase access to them. Now, there are specific examples, Dominique, from public reports and siblings in the New York Times interview that went out on April the 24th, 2026. Marie Nicole Porte, around 12 years old, alleged abuse in the family's Manhattan home, where Michael Jackson stayed for months after the 9/11 attacks. She claimed that Michael Jackson would choke his chicken while looking at her unclothed. That Michael Jackson allegedly made two youngins watch him abuse her and told her it was a normal thing between a man and a woman. Dominic Cascio starting around 8 years old, alleged the sexual relationship began during a trip to Euro Disneyland Paris, including lying without any clothes on in the bed together while Michael Jackson pleasured himself, is what they accuse him of. Edward Cascio says that the abuse allegedly extended into the adulthood of him. He stated it felt like he took my manhood away. He described the family as brainwashed and groomed. Aldo Cascio, specific individual incidents were less detailed, but he alleges that he was subject to the same pattern of drug and assault and grooming starting in childhood. Once again, the locations that they claim that this stuff happened. Peep this now, Dominique. The Neverland Ranch in Santa Barbara County, including the game room and the wine cellar. They gave specifics. The family home in New Jersey when Michael Jackson visited his own children in Manhattan. On concert tours in the U.S. and abroad, including the Dangerous and the History tours. And they had claimed that this happened in the homes of celebrities such as John Elton in the UK and Elizabeth Taylor in Switzerland. They also claim that Michael Jackson's entourage and staff facilitated and concealed this abuse through drugs and alcohol, providing PDF video. And to the person who says the allegation of the video came out, no, this actually was out before the video came out. It just came out to the public. Now it was behind the scenes. Know your role before you run your mouth in the comment section. See, y'all come in the comment section talking, but y'all don't really know nothing. That's why I'm here to give you the facts. Right? So they say that they concealed it through and facilitated this thing through using drugs and alcohol, providing PDF videos. Antoinette, I'm not finna leave Michael alone because he got God to deal with. He ain't got to worry about me. He got God to deal with, ma'am. The hell wrong with you? Stop praising celebrities and get off your knees and praise God, ma'am. That's what's wrong with you people now. A lot of y'all go to church every Sunday and don't learn a thing. The hell is wrong with you? 1,000 lashes for you. A bunch of demons running around here, afraid to stand up for what's right. And you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Talking about let him rest. Nah, these people who claim that they was abused and assaulted, they'll never be able to rest. Ain't happening. Because like I said before, all the maids had no reason to lie. They weren't suing Michael Jackson. The maids aren't suing Michael Jackson. The maid came out and said her life was threatened if she ever came out and spoke about it. The maid sat in there and said everything she witnessed. She didn't ask for no money. She didn't want no money. She was ashamed before God that she lied for that man. Right? And I'm going to say this again. This is a clear case, Dominique, of people praising celebrities and just, oh, I love Mike, man. I love him so much, man. I can't let nobody talk about Mike. I love him. I love when he did Billie Jean. I love all that. These people are crazy as hell. They're brainwashed. When everybody say, oh, how did he brainwash them? The same way you are now. That's capping for them. They cap for all these celebrities. It's all about who you like. You don't like Diddy, so when I come in here and say something about Diddy, you believe all that shit. But you like Michael Jackson, so anything somebody say about him, you don't want to believe it. I'm almost finished, Dominique. I'm going to let you cook. They said he installed security measures to hide activities and following orders not to disturb Michael Jackson when he was alone with them. He booked parents' hotel rooms far from them. Think about what I just said. Right? And to the person who says Joker need that essence, no. These videos get demonetized because of the content of what we talking about. So obviously you don't know nothing about YouTube, sucker. Once you start talking about this automatically gets demonetized. This ain't about the money, fool. This is about actually coming out here and telling people the truth and saving souls, sucker. You understand what I said to you, boy? I told you, boy, I only praise God. I don't praise no damn celebrity. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Michael Jackson. I don't give a fuck about no Michael Jackson. I don't give a fuck who it is. The hell with Michael Jackson. I don't give a damn. See, y'all don't want to protect. You act like y'all want to protect the youth and y'all want to do what? Y'all full of shit. All you want to do is demonize people. That's it. And it ain't now. This has been out for years. Y'all don't understand this. Y'all keep saying, why now? Michael Jackson have had allegations for him for decades. Y'all act like, oh, now all of a sudden it just came out. This has been, he have had numerous different people. Different. Not the same family. Not people that knew each other. Different people. The 90s, the early 2000s, the mid 2000s, the late 2000s. What the hell is wrong with you people? What's wrong with you? And he said his own self that if you will not let him, let me say this again, if you won't let him sleep with your kids, something wrong with you, you're wacky. He said that. And these grown people who are brainwashed, going straight to a one-way ticket, straight to hell, will come in here and cap for this shit. When he said that out of his own mouth, he said that. Ain't no cap in my rap, nigga. Ain't none. I've been telling y'all this.
That I was with him, that he didn't sexually abuse me.
Adrian is not the only one to be speaking out on the 10th anniversary of Michael Jackson's death.
I was 7 years old. Michael asked, do you and the family want to come to Neverland?
Hello, Wade. Today is your birthday, so congratulations. I love you. Goodbye.
Australian choreographer.
Now, this goes all into all of the different allegations that have came out of it. I'm telling you right now, diabolical work. Hold on. To this brother right here, you're gone, sucker. I'm gonna get you out of here. Cause see, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. These people gonna pick a side, and I'm gonna tell you something. In the end, see, you see what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all this, man. I'm telling y'all this, bro.
Because Macaulay Culkin says it's preposterous, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He denies it to this day.
he does.
But you say it did happen.
I say I saw what I saw.
Macaulay Culkin has always supported Michael Jackson and denies the singer ever molested him. But back in 1993, another of Jackson's young male friends turned against him. 13-year-old Jordan Chandler accused Jackson of sexually abusing him during sleepovers at Neverland.
Now, that May said she did see Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson. The May said she seen Macaulay Culkin.
Lone actor Macaulay Culkin, who she claims she saw being touched inappropriately by the singer. You're on record. You're on public record, court record, just talking about Macaulay Culkin. Do you stand by that story?
I stand by what I said during my deposition. You know, I think it's best to leave it at that.
Because Macaulay Culkin says it's preposterous, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He denies it to this day.
he does.
But you say it did happen.
I say I saw what I saw.
That woman ain't lying. I don't think that woman lying. I don't think she lying. And I'm gonna go a step further, and before I even pass it, Dominique, because y'all, I'm telling y'all something. It is truly something wrong with our community. We want to latch on.
All the joys of life.
And so it was that we came back to our meeting at Neverland with 12-year-old Gavin. I'd found this easel.
Now listen to this, y'all. Listen to this. This is his own mouth.
And they say, is that really appropriate? When you're talking about children, we met Gavin. Mm-hmm. And it was a great privilege to meet Gavin because he's had a lot of suffering in his life.
Yeah.
When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact that he shares your bedroom.
Yeah.
Can you understand why people would worry about that?
Because they're ignorant.
But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing. You got a whole comment section in a nation full of people going straight to hell. He said that's a beautiful thing for a grown man to be in the bed with another child he don't even know. And you got these Negroes on YouTube capping in the comment section. I'm talking about leading a nation full of people straight to hell. When this man has sat right here, this is his own mouth telling y'all this. And these people, I'm talking about, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that these are the type of parents, these are the type of people we have in this world. And then when stuff happens, they always say, oh, well, why ain't the person? Because they all thinking like you. Y'all come in here and condone this shit. Period. He didn't sleep on the floor. Mike admitted, shut up, Niecy. Shut up. They didn't take shit out. Mike admitted out his own mouth that they slept in the same bed. You a lying demon, lady, and I'm going to go ahead and cook your ass right now.
That's not a worrying thing?
Why should they be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room? This is a guy trying to help heal a child. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed.
Now listen. He said, I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed. Now listen to what he said. No, they did not, Niecy. Niecy, sorry, ma'am. You about to get your ass cooked. Because he asked Mike about the other kids. And Mike said himself, yeah, I slept in the bed with him. What's the problem? Now, Niecy, are you going to apologize when I'm stir-fry your ass right now?
Bed, because he has a brother named Star. So him and Star took the bed. And I'm on the floor in the sleeping bag.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children.
But I have slept in the bed with many children. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Get her ass out of here. Niecy, EC, TC, PC, you got to go. Your ass got to go. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here because you a lying demon. He said out his own mouth, I've slept in the bed with many children. And y'all will come in here on demon time. On demon time. Demon time. And I'm going to tell y'all something. These people ain't got no morals. No fucking ethics. None. They condone this type of stuff. They condone this stuff. Y'all see what that girl said? Where's she at? She disappeared. Michael Jackson's out his own mouth. Let me rewind that again for him, because I'm finna let Dominique cook.
In bed with all of them. I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children.
Game over. Game over. Now where's she at? Remember she said, oh, they didn't take that out, Dominique, because he didn't say that. Yes, he did say it. He said out his own mouth, Niecy. Apologize, Niecy, because you lied. He said out his own mouth, but Niecy, in case you didn't hear that, let him keep going.
I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side. Macaulay Culkin's on this side. His sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed. And we wake up like dawn and go in the hot air balloon. You know, we have the footage. I have all that footage.
But is that right, Michael?
It's very right. It's very loving. That's what the world needs now. more love, more.
The world needs
more heart.
the world needs a man who's 44 sleeping in a
you're
bed
making
with
it,
children.
No, you're making it all wrong.
Well, tell me, help me.
Because what's wrong with sharing love? You don't sleep with your kids or some other kid who needs love, who didn't have a good childhood?
No, I don't. I would never dream of sleeping.
I would
never
Because
dream.
you've never been where I've been mentally.
What do you think people would say if I said, well, I've invited some of my daughter's friends round or my son's friends round and they're going to sleep in the bed with me tonight?
That's fine.
What do you think their parents would say?
If they're wacky, they would say you can't. But
If they're wacky, they would say you can't. Michael Jackson himself said, if you tell him that he can't sleep with your kids in his bed, you're wacky. And these motherfuckers come over here looking at us, acting like we crazy, Dominique. We're the ones that's crazy when this man said this out of his own mouth. He basically said, Niecy, if you don't let me sleep with your kid, you wacky. Something wrong with you. And she's sitting over here. He didn't say that. Yes, he did say it. Y'all been living off lies for decades. Let's keep going.
if you're close family, like your family, you know them well,
But Michael, I wouldn't like my children to sleep in anybody else's bed.
well, I wouldn't mind if I knew the person well, and if I'm very close to Barry Gibb, Paris and Prince can stay with him anytime. My children sleep with other people all the time.
And you're happy with that?
Fine with it. They're honest. They're sweet people. They're not Jack the Ripper.
I suppose the problem for many people is what happened in 1993, or what didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
Just cast your mind back.
And he ducked that smoke. Oh, yeah, I can't talk about that because of litigation. And y'all sit over here. Hey, these people are insane. They lie so much. It is crazy. But, so, Dominique, to make a long story short, the Cascio family has now come forward and said that Michael Jackson did all of these disgraceful things to all of them. You can go look. The whole article is on allhiphop.com. The whole article's over here. They're saying that he did all these things to him, right? And they're laying it out over the course of the period of time. And then also, just to finish, and I'm going to let you just go. The maids, Blanca Frankia, she was a housekeeper for Michael Jackson. She worked as a maid from 1986 to 1991. She was one of the most prominent maid witnesses, right? And she had a son. His name was Jason. He also alleged being abused, tickling that involved touching his beefcake on multiple occasions when he was 7 through 10, with Michael Jackson allegedly giving him $100 bills afterwards to stay quiet. He testified in that trial. And guess what happened? Guess what happened, Dominique? The family settled a related civil claim with Michael Jackson for $2 million. So Michael paid the one kid $23 million and this one $2 million. Let's keep going. But if you're innocent, why would you be paying all these people? Now let's keep going. I want y'all to think about what I'm saying now. Let's keep going, right? Let's keep going. She says this is what she says now. This is the maid. She says she witnessed Michael Jackson showering with a young boy. And she identified him as Wade Robeson, who was then around 7 or 8 years old. She heard splashing, laughing. She entered the bathroom and saw two figures in the shower stream. On the floor nearby were Michael Jackson's white briefs and the boy's neon green Spider-Man undies, which she recognized from doing laundry. She said she left embarrassed. She says that she saw Michael Jackson in bed with these young boys, including sharing his bed with Macaulay Culkin and other children on multiple occasions. In one instance, she found Michael Jackson and a boy, possibly her own son, in a sleeping bag. She claimed to have seen Michael Jackson naked with boys in the jacuzzi or shower on other occasions and quit in disgust. She said she quit. And to the person who said the case is closed, you're not understanding this, ma'am or sir. Michael Jackson didn't have just one allegation. You're talking about one case. Michael Jackson had numerous different allegations, not just that one case. If Michael Jackson went to court over every case, he'd have been in court about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. The hell is wrong with you, sucker? Why are you thinking that these people were paid off to go away? And that's why I blame the parents. Because if I was the parents, I ain't taking no money. I don't give a damn. You give me $28 million. You going to prison, boy. Now let's keep going. This maid claimed that she saw Michael Jackson naked with the boys in a jacuzzi or a shower in other occasions, and she quit out of disgust. So everybody said, why she ain't leave? She quit. She said when she saw this, she quit out of disgust in 1991. She also mentioned finding many personal photos of youngins in Michael's room. Remember, this is his maid. Anybody that have maids know, they come, they know everything that you got going on in your house. They clean your house, they know everything. In 1993, right, she spoke to investigators during the Jordan Chandler probe, right? Think about this. Think about what I'm saying to y'all, right? Adrian McManus, Michael Jackson's maid from 1990 to 1994. She worked as Michael Jackson's personal maid and had access to his bedroom and private areas. She testified in the 2005 trial and has given later interviews. Listen to this. She claimed to seeing Michael Jackson kiss and fondle 3 boys, including placing his hands on the boy's bottom while kissing actor Macaulay Culkin on the cheek and touching his leg and rear. She alleged seeing Michael Jackson touch the beefcake of another one linked to the Jordan Chandler case in some of these reports. She described finding Krusty Boy's underwear or other evidence suggesting inappropriate activity while cleaning. In post-trial interviews, she claimed that Michael Jackson was a PDFer and described patterns of youngins staying close to him and alleged that he secretly recorded interactions with these youngins, including possible footage involving accusers like Robeson and Safechuck. She also spoke of discovering evidence of inappropriate interactions while she was cleaning. She testified to seeing Michael Jackson in compromising positions with boys and cleaning up after bathtub frolics with the children. She was a part of the Neverland Five, right? The 5 ex-employees, including the security guard, Ralph Chacon, who sued Michael Jackson for wrongful termination in the 1990s after they cooperated with the 1993 investigation. Michael Jackson countersued. The employee suit was dismissed as fraudulent, malicious, and they were ordered to pay over $1 million in damages, including for stealing items worth $50,000, such as Michael Jackson's drawn sketch. McManus admitted to lying in a prior 1993 deposition, denying seeing misconduct out of fear. So she said that she lied, said that she didn't see no misconduct in her deposition because she was in fear of her life. The same thing the other lady said. The other lady said that they threatened to take her life if she ever spoke about it. So when she did her deposition, she said she lied because she was in fear of her life. So basically, you know, the defense they portrayed her as a disgruntled employee. This is how Mike won that one case, right? So the other housemaids are keepers. In a 2014 New York Post article, 5 former maids of Michael Jackson, right, spoke out, right? They alleged that Jackson allegedly tracking animal bleeps through the house and making crude threats. You peep on the floor, general filth, perversion, and a shift of behavior after the Jordan Chandler allegations. Some indicated they might testify in future civil cases against him if needed. Other housekeepers testified, but focused more on the Arvizo children's behavior rather than direct abuse observations, right? So these are the things that Mike had. So now that he has, and these people were defending him the most. And let me say, we talked about this the other week. Now they demonize it. And this is the thing. Mike is the one that went and married those white girls. So everybody keeps talking about, hey man, that ain't his damn daughter. Mikey married the white girl, and he's her daddy on her birth certificate. Mike claimed her as his daughter. So who is anybody in this comment section to say, that ain't Mike's daughter? Mike said it's her daughter, his daughter. He put it on the birth certificate. He's on her birth. He claimed her. Mike ain't married no black woman. Ain't motherfucker coming here, hey man, y'all gotta protect the man. He ain't married no black woman. And y'all want to play that game. He divorced the white girl, the Lisa Marie Presley girl, and went and married another white girl. So stand on that. Stand on that. To the person who said that they reported to the police, yes, they reported it to the police. What the hell do you think we're telling you? Yes, they did. That's what we telling y'all. Dominique, I've laid out all of these new allegations that these people have come forward with that defended Mike. They said they have been brainwashed, and basically, you know, I'll let you talk about it because I mean personally, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. She says this, and I'm gonna tell you, this woman is sick. This woman right here needs to be arrested immediately. She says if they consented, I wouldn't necessarily call it. How can a youth consent? I'll tell y'all, this is where we at right now in 2026. Dominique, how can somebody that's not of age consent?
No,
How?
they can't.
How? What the hell is wrong with these people, Dominique? What is wrong with them? I go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
All right, guys. I mean, talk to me nice, right? Because this conversation here, to me, it's where fandom gets like super uncomfortable. We talked about it before. You mentioned Ticket earlier in the show about, people not favoring God and they favor the man, right? And so I just think that that's where people stop being really objective. This is Michael Jackson, an icon, right? And so they start being super protective of his image instead of being honest about reality. And I just can't do that. I can't do that after everything we just heard, even after just all of the years. The Martin Bashir interview, that's just one small piece of it. I mean, I think that that's where we can see the delusional sort of reaction that Michael Jackson had to sleeping in bed with young boys, right? And so when we lay the groundwork, when you think about it, Michael Jackson himself, he's publicly saying that he sleeps in bed with children, including Macaulay Culkin and his brother, Kieran Culkin. And what was his explanation for that? That, oh, it's innocent, it's childlike. That's
Dominique, look at that on the screen. I need you to look that up. I'm sorry to cut you off. I need you to look that up. Please look that up right now.
That's what I'm going to get into. The parents can say, I'm going to get
No, I'm asking you, is that true or false? I need you to look that up.
Of course it's false. I'm going to get to all of that. You know what I'm saying? Parents, it's not, so parents can't consent for their child to be in that kind of situation. That's a crime. There is no parental consent. So, Antoinette, I don't know how you could go that far to defend somebody. That is a crime. Like I can't consent for my child to be in that kind of predicament where, they're harmed in that fashion. That would be probably child endangerment. I mean,
Get that $100 super chat too.
It's just ridiculous. So, when we read the super chat from Paul Harrison, and salute to you, Paul Harrison 7351 for the $100 super chat. Salute to you, Ticket, and your guests. I totally understand why you say don't put your trust in any one person. Trust the Most High. Your guest looks like a member of the R&B group Sister Sledge. Am I tripping? I
Oh, she's
like the
beautiful.
bridge of my nose. But yeah, no, I know exactly who you're talking about too. But yeah, I mean, just when we think about this situation with Michael Jackson, um, before we even touch one of these allegations, it's just the massive lapse in judgment and the judgment of Michael Jackson's fans. And we just saw that with Antoinette, who's obviously delusional. Like, you must be a delusional Michael Jackson fan. And it is really sad when we go as far to say that a child can consent or a parent can consent for their child to be sleeping in the bed with another grown man. So anyway, I don't again, I don't care how you spin it. I don't care how you try to contextualize something like that. That's just not normal adult behavior. It's not appropriate at all. And then when we just go ahead and add everything else into the picture, we have decades of allegations involving underage folks. We have decades of allegations involving minors. We have a trial ending in acquittal in 2005, right? We have continued claims after Michael Jackson's death. So the whole let him rest, it's hard to let a person rest about these allegations when they keep coming up. And just because somebody's not here to defend themselves anymore, it doesn't mean that victims don't have the right to speak out. And I think that that's where we go wrong. That's where we go to victim blaming. Sometimes it's much easier for someone to come forward when someone's passed away, because now they can finally, now they feel safe to bring their story forward. So I hate when people say that, because you're diminishing the fear and the power that the abuser and that person had over their victim. And so, I really think that it's shameful when people do that. But the continued claims after his death, right? We're getting that rampantly. Former staff making accusations about what they saw. Then we have a maid who's claiming that she found children's underwear in the home, and later admitting that she previously lied to protect him. So, there's also reports alleging inappropriate environment, involving substances. There's reports of that. Okay. Now, discipline, right? So there's these allegations. Not all are proven in court. He denied wrongdoing. That's clear, right? His estate denies the claims. That matters. But guys, talk to me nice again, because at what point do we stop pretending that this is just all random? I want to know, at what point do we stop acting like this is just a coincidence? Oh, a little coinky dink here. And, it's just a stacked on coincidence. But here's the truth. And we can debate this all we want. We can debate the individual claims. I'm fine with that. You can question the credibility of these victims or the staff or whoever. You can point to the acquittals that Michael Jackson has had. But you can't erase the pattern of environments that keep coming up. You can't escape the patterns of behavior and actions. And so now, here's where I get a little surgical here, and not just on Michael Jackson, okay, but on the fans, because a lot of people are not defending facts. They're defending their feelings. They're defending nostalgia. They're defending childhood memories of the moonwalk and Thriller. They're defending an emotional attachment to music. That's what's happening here. And that's where this becomes dangerous. Because now we're not evaluating behavior. We're protecting an identity tied to the artist. That's exactly what Ticket was talking about. I'm going to talk a little bit more, but let me make this simple for you guys. If any regular person, if any regular person said, I share my bed with children that aren't mine, you would not hesitate. You wouldn't say, well, let's understand the context behind it. He had a rough childhood. Maybe it was innocent. No. You would say this is inappropriate, period. That's what you would say. But because it's Michael Jackson, somehow people want to bend the logic. They stretch the reality. We lower the standards of what someone should be as a human being. And guys, talk to me nice, because that's not loyalty. That's not loyalty, that's bias. And let's address the blame the staff argument. Okay? Because I have plenty to say about that. People love that one. Oh, what about the people that helped him to do this? The handlers allowed it. The staff didn't stop it. And yes, people around powerful figures can and they will enable behavior. They can stay silent. They can protect the system. That happens all day long. But here's what fans just don't want to confront. And it's really aggravating to me. The delusional people in the comment section that want to sit here and say and blame the staff and blame the parents. Staff don't create the environment. Let's be clear in that. The power does. The power dynamic exists, creates the environment. So let me ask you this. Who decides? Who decides who gets access? Who sets the tone inside the home? Who defines what's acceptable? Exactly. That would be Michael Jackson. And so, yes, the staff, they may have been enabled, but they didn't invent bed sharing with children. They didn't come up with that. That was Michael Jackson. They didn't invent the private access to children. They did not blur the boundaries with children. That starts at the top. And so let's go even deeper, because even when somebody says, oh, I don't believe the allegations, fine, hold that position. Hold the position that you don't believe the allegations, but you still have to deal with this. He admitted to behavior that crosses basic adult boundaries, period. And then you layer on repeated accusations, conflicting testimonies, accounts from people inside the actual environment. And instead of asking questions, fans start doing mental gymnastics. People are lying. They're after money. It's a conspiracy. All they want is his money. Maybe some are. But guys, talk to me nice, because they can't answer to everything. You can't. You can't answer everything, because now you're not analyzing, you're deflecting. And
he says the FBI investigated Michael Jackson for over 10 years and found no wrongdoing. Let me say this to you. The FBI says that nobody in the Epstein files outside of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell did anything wrong. Who are we talking about? The Epstein files literally say that nobody else in the Epstein files outside of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell did something wrong. And to the person who showed the proof, we already showed the proof. We showed you the proof. We gave you eyewitness testimony, for one. We gave you the actual testimony of the youth, for two. And for three, let me read what Michael Jackson's own defense attorney said about Jordan Chandler. And we've given you sources. Know your role and shut your damn mouth and listen, and you'll hear the sources. We've given you sources. So Michael Jackson's lawyer, right? And his name, for you guys who don't know, right, was he was with Johnny Cochran, Carl Douglas. For the 1993 allegation from the boy who got $23 million settlement for Michael Jackson, right? Carl Douglas, in public appearances, interviews, and a 2010 seminar, this is Michael Jackson's defense attorney, right? He referred to Jordan Chandler. This is the boy who got $23 million from Michael Jackson. He referred to Jordan Chandler's allegations, particularly the description of Jackson's beefcake in his booty, as the quote-unquote 300-pound gorilla in the room, end quote. He described the need to quote-unquote silence the boy, end quote, through the 1993 civil settlement that was around $23 million, right? Carl Douglas, Michael Jackson's attorney, said, let me read this again. He indicated that the detailed description created serious legal risk as police and prosecutors were preparing formal child PDF charges against Michael Jackson, with a March 1994 deadline looming. He suggested that the settlement was a pragmatic move to avoid a criminal trial at that time. That was Michael Jackson's own lawyer. Asshole, like, look it up. He also criticized Michael Jackson's fans who deny those 1993 Jordan Chandler allegations, comparing their disbelief to more extreme denialism and calling it tragic that some refuse to believe Jordan Chandler. In one interview, Michael Jackson's own lawyer stated something to the effect that denying Jordan's account is more tragic than fans from places like India loving Michael Jackson's music while rejecting the claims. Right? This is his own lawyer. You can go look this up. Go look it up. His lawyer's name is Carl Douglas. Look it up. I want you to look this up. Go look up Michael Jackson's lawyer, Carl Douglas, and look at his statements. He said that the 1994 or March 94 trial was looming. Mike had to pay that bread. Mike paid that $23 million, and that case went away. Then the other cases came up in 2005. That's when the other case came up. He said, I concede. See, this is what happens when we bring forth evidence to you. But this is Michael Jackson's own lawyer. That's why I said you can go look this up. His own lawyer went off and said, man, if y'all don't, because you know what, Dominique? Guess what? You know Mike's lawyer had to see the evidence. He had to see what the police had presented to him in those photos and what they were going to bring forth in that case. Let me read this to you one more time, Dominique. This is Michael Jackson's lawyer, Carl Douglas. Y'all look this up. Look it up. In public appearances, interviews, and a 2010 seminar, right? Carl Douglas referred to Jordan Chandler. That's the boy that Michael Jackson paid $23 million in 93, right? Carl Douglas, Michael Jordan's lawyer, referred to Jordan Chandler's allegations, particularly the description of Michael Jordan's beefcake in his butt, as the 300-pound gorilla in the room. He described the need to silence the boy through a 1993 civil settlement, $23 million. Carl Douglas indicated that the detailed description created serious legal risk. The detailed description. Y'all said the cops was lying. Michael Jackson's lawyer says, Michael Jackson's lawyer, Carl Douglas, said, hey, man, he indicated that the detailed description that boy gave the cops of Michael Jackson's front and backside. Oh, yeah. He said that created serious legal risk as the police and prosecutors were preparing formal PDF charges against Mike with a March 1994 deadline looming. He suggested that the settlement was a pragmatic move to avoid a criminal trial at that time. Look it up. Look it up online. You can go look this up yourself on Michael Jackson's own lawyer, asshole. Like, Douglas has also criticized Michael Jackson fans who deny those 1993 allegations, comparing their disbelief to more extreme denialism and calling it tragic that some refuse, Dominique, to believe Jordan Chandler. In one interview, he stated something to the effect that denying Jordan's account is more tragic than fans from places like India loving Michael Jackson's music while rejecting the claims. Right? Right? That's his own lawyer. That's a person who he's seen whatever they had that they was going to bring forth against Mike in that case. And remember, who you think paying somebody $23 million? Let me tell you something, Dominique. If you were accused of those heinous type of crimes, would you pay any amount of money or would you want to clear your name legally?
Of course, I'd want to clear my name legally.
So they're condoning the fact that Michael Jackson paid about $23 million Who the hell is paying that type of money?
You know what though, Ticket? Let's say you paid somebody one time, okay, because you just didn't want to deal with it.
No,
But
I'm going. No, $23 million.
I get it. I'm just saying he still paid multiple people. He
Right.
continued to pay.
No, we going to court. Listen, it costs less to go to court and prove yourself innocent. That's easy. Listen, let me say this. If they have no evidence, if you didn't do nothing wrong, it's impossible for them to have evidence. It's impossible. I'm going to court. I'm going to court. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Y'all, I'm going to clear my name. But once again, this man was out here, and this, I'm telling you, Dominique, the part that ticks me off about these people the most is that they lie for this dude. They lie. I'm so bothered by this, by people lying for this cat.
People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell. One time I asked to use the restroom, and they said, sure, it's right around the corner there. Once I went in the restroom, they locked me in there for like 45 minutes. There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad. Then one of the policemen came by the window and he made a sarcastic remark. He said, does it smell good enough for you in there? How do you like the smell? Is it good? And I just simply said, it's all right. It's okay. So I just sat there and waited.
For 45 minutes?
Yeah, for 45 minutes, about 45 minutes. And then one cop would come by and say, oh, you'll be out in a second. You'll be out in a second. Then there'll be another 10 minutes added on, then another 15 minutes added on. They did this on purpose.
And I'm going to quote here. Why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
Yes.
As we sit here today, do you still think that it's acceptable to share your bed with children?
Of course. Of course. Why not? If you're going to be a pedophile, if you're going to be Jack the Ripper, if you're going to be a murderer, it's not a good idea. That I'm not. That's how we were raised. And I didn't sleep in the bed with the child. Even if I did, it's okay. I slept on the floor. I gave the bed to the child. I would never stop helping and loving people the way Jesus said to. He said, continue to love. Always love. Bring on the children. Imitate the children. Not childish, but childlike. Well, what's wrong with sharing your bed? I just said I slept in the bed. Even if I did sleep in the bed, it's okay. I am not going to do anything sexual to a child. It's not where my heart is. I would slit my wrist first. I would never do anything like that. That's not Michael Jackson. I'm sorry. That's someone else.
How has it impacted touring, record
album's #1 all over the world. All over the world. America's the only one because I don't want to say too much.
But it's not #1 in the United States.
It's conspiracy, yeah. I don't want to say too much. I'm done.
Michael, what would you say to...
This is all the cap. This is all the cap from this guy, man. You guys, like I said before, y'all can just keep listening to all these lies these dudes put out, man. But again, I've said this and I'll say it again and again and again, man. I'm thoroughly disgusted. I'm thoroughly disgusted with all these people, man. And I'm just telling you, man, at some point in time, when a dude talk like that, nah, man, I don't give a damn how much talent you got. I don't care if you can goddamn do a moonwalk and a 360 backflip windmill at the same time. I don't give a damn. It's morals, ethics, and a line. See, this is the same type of stuff that you address when you talk about people in them Epstein files. This is the same type of heat that you get. They don't want to talk about that. The people don't want to acknowledge that, hey, man, hold on. These things that are being said in these Epstein files, hold on, what the hell is going on? But once again, people have normalized this in our society. People have said, you know what, I don't care, I'm still going to go to work. It don't matter if the top person in the United States of America's name is in those files being accused of some of the most vile, demonic, diabolical things ever. People will overlook this for fame, fortune, and money. They don't care. We live in a whole different era. You got a girl that came in here, Antoinette, talking about some, oh, well, the parents can't consent. Your parents can't consent to that. Your parents cannot consent. Your parents cannot consent to that. Your parents will get sent to prison for the rest of their life if they got caught sending you to somebody else like that. And that's the first thing y'all always come in here and say. But it's all about who you like. Again, y'all don't like Diddy, so any allegation against Diddy, y'all finna believe all that shit. See, I'm gonna tell you something, Dominique. This is how I expose these motherfuckers. If this was all Diddy being accused of this, they'd have believed every allegation in here. They would have believed if these would have, all you had to do is change Michael Jackson and Diddy. They don't like Diddy, so they would have accused, they would have said all of it's true. But since they love Mike, they have an attachment to Mike. Nah, it can't be him. They love R. Kelly, have an attachment to him. They ignore all of the signs. R. Kelly, how old was Aaliyah? What type of songs was he making telling you these things? The man, they had a song, age ain't nothing but a number. What else are we talking about? Did he marry her? How old was they? Where the parents at? The girl came out and said, no, that was me on tape. That tape was real. That was him and that was me. And they still deny. Oh, man, they setting him up, man. I'm telling you, they're trying to get his masters. These people are crazy. It is insane. And then you see the people over them, Harvey Weinstein. Look at him. You see what's up with what happened with Epstein. And they tell you, hey, man, Hollywood, it's demonic. It's weird. But they don't want to believe it. When you start talking about what's in Hollywood, now they want to pick and choose. Nah, ain't no cap in my rap. And to the lady who said they had to know where they were sleeping, ma'am, let me tell you something. And I'm going to say this to you right now. Michael Jackson had 30-something rooms in that house. Dominique, I'm going to ask you, because this lady ain't got no sense. This man got 30-something rooms, but they all sleeping in his bed. Make it make sense.
You can't.
Hey, and this lady coming in here.
You can't.
I mean, go ahead, Dominique. Go ahead, man.
You can't make it make sense. You absolutely can't make that make sense. I'm sorry. Antoinette, can you please stop doing what you're doing in the comment section? I mean, I always hold space for people to have, their own opinion and to think differently. I hold space for that. But we're talking about children, Antoinette. And I'm looking at you, and I don't know if you're a mom, but you're somebody's child. Could you imagine not having grown up properly because you were touched or you were molested, and your childhood was taken for you, or, because your childhood was taken from you, you go on to, to be over sexualized as a young adult woman, or male, right? And so, or you go on to even to do this to somebody else. I mean, they had to know where they were sleeping. What kind of excuse is this? They are a child. A child cannot consent to where they're sleeping. A child can't make those discernments. Even a child, like even an adult, cannot really properly consent when there's a person who's so rich and powerful dangling their livelihood in front of them. You have people who sell their souls every day for, and they dibble and dabble in these kinds of behaviors, all for the money. The enablers, the people that are around these, rich and famous people. And yeah, I think that we were all so quick to admonish Diddy and come in here and roast him and flame him and hold him to the fire. But because Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson and he's so childlike, he's Peter Pan-like, we go to a place of feeling bad for him. We go to a place of feeling like this is a person who's so gentle, he couldn't possibly be harming kids. And whatever the psychology is around it, sleeping in the bed with children is just, it's inexcusable. Antoinette, you have to stop. You really do. I'm surprised that the moderators have not booted you out of here yet with this constant defending of children sleeping in the bed with adults. It's shameful. You have to stop. I understand being a fan to Michael Jackson, being a fan of, so many different iconic people. You can't excuse the behavior. You can still love the music. I'm not gonna bash you for loving Billie Jean. I'm not gonna bash you for, for singing along to PYT. I'm not gonna bash you if you want to go see a Michael movie. That was a huge part of our history, Black history. It's a huge part of music history. We can't take away Michael Jackson's catalog, but we can take away defending these behaviors, defending him sleeping in the bed with little boys. You are absolutely out of your mind to come in here, to come into this chat and defend a grown man, to defend somebody with so much power, with so much influence, literally going out there and making a PSA for PDFs. That's what he did.
And
That's what he did.
would
He
you
made
leave your kids, Internet?
He did marketing. He basically did marketing and he made it okay, And now there's a huge, do you guys even know that there's a serious market out there? There's a large group of people saying that PDFing is now a sexuality, that it should be okay. They're trying very hard to get stuff like that legalized, these groups of people.
But she falls into that parent who would probably leave their kids with Mike. She probably wouldn't have no. See, I'm telling you something. Ask her that. Hey, would you have a problem with your kids sleeping in the same bed as Mike, Antoinette? Would you have a problem with that? See, because if she says I would have a problem with. If she says I would have a problem with that, then she's just a liar. She's a liar and a hypocrite.
Well, I don't think she would have a problem with it because her kids are going to be.
No, but I'm saying I'm saying because she said if she would have a problem with it, then she's a liar and a hypocrite right now because she's acting like it's no problem. So it's only a problem if it happens to you. This is the type of shit we talking about too.
Right.
Right. So that's why I said she is real scum. And when they say brainwashed, this is the type of stuff we talking about. You can be brainwashed by a celebrity once again, right? And she won't even answer the question. She's avoiding the question I asked her. Talking about it isn't the music, it's the persona. I don't give a damn what it is. Well, I don't care if it's the music, the persona, or what. We're saying that he don't get no pass for that type of behavior that he's talking about. Let's just say that what he said, what Mike said was 1,000% unacceptable. And let me say this to you, Dominique. If any other celebrity said that, he'd be canceled today. They would cancel him. Right or wrong. They would cancel him. I got you. So they would cancel him. Tell the truth. If any other celebrity said what Mike said in that tape, they would be canceled today.
Imagine if it was a regular person coming out, but that's what happens when celebrities come out and they say these ridiculous things. What it does is it spreads, right? Michael Jackson is the biggest pop star that ever lived, right? So he's coming out saying it's okay to sleep in bed with children. That's influencing millions of people. That's influencing the person that, in some dark basement, some cold, hard floor, they're in there struggling with these thoughts about children, right? And he just made it okay for millions of people over the last however many years to go out there and do that. That kind of influence that he has over the general public, that we have Antoinette in the comments section 20 years later defending that Martin Bashir interview, defending him sleeping in bed with children. Completely delusional. It's sick. Even for you to say, okay, not in my backyard. Okay, this is okay for your household. This is okay for your child, but it's not okay for my child is sick. Because
he even said complete strangers. He even said complete strangers. He said that at first. He was like, because he asked him, he said, well, why would it? He said, he said, you have no problem with being in a bed with a kid of a complete stranger? He said, no. But why?
It's sweet. He sounds like he's talking about romancing children.
Oh my God, yo. I ain't
It's
never, bro.
absolutely disgusting.
These thoughts have never crossed my mind ever. It ain't never crossed my mind.
But imagine if you were ashamed about having these thoughts. You're trying to deal with them, these kinds of feelings. And Michael Jackson is out there just, parading this around and saying that this is fine in open public, literally doing this to children in plain sight.
I'm hurt. I'm hurt about the direction of our society, Dominique. I'm telling you, I'm truly hurt by this, man, because these people, Mike has garnered so much love that these people are willing to give away all their credibility. Period. She says Mike isn't anybody. Agreed. What are you talking about? Doesn't matter. What are you talking about? He isn't anybody. You're praising him like he's God, and he's not, man. You're praising Michael Jackson like he's God, and he's not.
The alarming comment she said was that the kids knew where they were sleeping. The kids knew where they were sleeping. She blamed the kids. So first she went from blaming the parents' ticket to blaming the handlers and the staff and the maids.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's blaming the actual kids, the victims, children. You're going to blame a 7-year-old for being in the shower with him? You're going to blame the kids for being in bed with somebody that they think is their idol and they don't know? You're going to blame the kids in that Neverland documentary that they said, you know what? I actually wanted this relationship with Michael Jackson. I was sad when he stopped calling me when I became a teenager.
I want you to listen to this before you tip out.
But he loved them. Ticket.
I have the actual paperwork, and I'm gonna forward this to you. This is diabolical, and you could just look at this at a different time and maybe talk about this on your network too. But listen to this. These are the allegations that the new Cascio's brought out. I have the actual paperwork. Shout out to my boy Diddy Doc. I got the actual paperwork. So they said that they met. This says that they met Michael Jackson through their father, who met him, like I said, while working at that luxury hotel. Right after gaining their family trust, Michael Jackson sexually abused each of them for years, starting when some of them were as young as 7 or 8 and continuing into adolescence. The abuse included the following: Jackson R-worded and bleeped Edward on interstate and international trips, including, among others, during stops on the Dangerous World Tour at Elizabeth Taylor's house in Switzerland. They're giving specifics. Elton John's home in the United Kingdom. Well, Elton John need to be spoken about with this shit too, and Elizabeth Taylor need to be brought up to this shit on these allegations. And think about this: and at Michael Jackson's Santa Barbara County, California estate, the Neverland Ranch. Jackson R-worded and molested Dominic on interstate and international trips, including Florida, New Jersey, New York, France, South Africa, and during the History World Tour at Neverland Ranch and at the Cascio family's New Jersey home. He did it. I want you to think about this. Why does he have these kids going all over these places with him? Let's start right there. Let's start right there. Why are they? This is why the parents need to be put in prison. Why are they able to travel all over the world with this man? And Carla, it doesn't matter when these allegations are coming out. I don't give a damn when it comes out. And y'all don't make sense in the comment section. Well, why are they coming out during his film? Because what happens is, ma'am, is that what the media does is, first of all, they go back to all of your old allegations. Whenever something new is about you coming out, they go pull up all the information on you. This is how the media works. But these are new allegations. These are allegations from people who were defending Michael Jackson, who said, man, I'm going to tell y'all the truth, man. We was just drunk off the same thing they was. Use your brain, ma'am. But they also said this, and I know you got to roll, so you can when you want. I'm going to stay on just a little bit longer. They also said that he was doing this stuff. They said he unsuccessfully attempted to sexually abuse Marie Nicole in Bahrain. They said that his years of brainwashing prevented them from seeking help when he was alive and for years afterwards, even comprehending the despicable behavior they endured. After Leaving Neverland was released, the Jackson estate and its lawyers and investigators used fraudulent misrepresentations, undue influence, and false promises to prevent the plaintiffs from revealing their abuse and seeking justice until now. Right? Jackson insinuated himself into their family life. He spent holidays and special occasions, including Thanksgiving, Christmas, and his own birthday, with them and their family during lengthy stays at their New Jersey home with his own kids. Jackson gained their sympathy by complaining about his own childhood and telling them repeatedly he lacked a bond with his own family and that they were his true family, the Cascios. They said Mike told him, hey, he don't have no bond with his family. You see Mike's family more together now, and he's saying that they was together when he was young. They said Michael Jackson secured their loyalty and acceptance of abuse with rewards, including unique access to a celebrity lifestyle and increasingly extravagant presence. These included suitcases. They gave details now. See, this is the thing, Dominique. When you give details, that's something that's hard to lie about, details. Listen to what they said. These included suitcases full of video games and electronics, private shopping trips to toy stores, exclusive visits to theme parks, introductions to other celebrities, and interstate and international travel. The travel included extended concert tours during which Michael Jackson's organization assured Jackson the privacy he needed for these sexual assaults. Jackson normalized his abuse to condition them to it. He told them that the X-rated videos and pictures of unclothed youngins were sweet and normal. He bathed with some of these plaintiffs. Listen to all the things they're saying. He made 2 youngins under his care watch him abuse Marie Nicole and told her that the abuse he inflicted on her was a normal thing between a man and a woman. Jackson himself constantly under the influence, they said Michael Jackson was under the influence of drugs and frequently intoxicated, plied them with alcohol, reefer, illegal hard drugs, prescription drugs, including X, Viagra, V, making them more vulnerable to his abuse than they already were as youngins. His advisors and employees made sure the substances were always available to him, including when he was alone with them. Jackson used PDF-friendly language to appeal to them and conceal the assaults and drug and alcohol use from others. Right? And I quote, they said he used the words, "Can I have a meeting?" Yogi T, Neverland, and quote unquote, "go to Disneyland," were his code words for encouraging these youngins to engage in extreme sex acts with him. Those acts were as bad as, if not worse, anything that can be described or imagined. They say that he called wine Jesus juice. Think about what I'm saying to y'all now. And hard liquor, Disney juice. He also associated alcohol with playing, including by encouraging them to drink with him while they were in the basement of his Neverland Ranch game room, which he called the wine cellar. He also made them fear and distrust others so they would hide this abuse. He repeatedly stressed that all their lives and the family lives would be destroyed if his sexual activity with them were ever discovered. He told them to hide if someone entered the room during the situation. He drilled them on what to say if a police officer or other adult asked whether he was R-wording them. He told them to stay away from therapists and avoid women who he told them were evil, sneaky liars and could smell if something sexual had happened. To prevent the disclosure of the abuse and gain more access to him, Michael Jackson, they allege, twice convinced the plaintiffs to withdraw Aldo and Marie Nicole from school so they could be homeschooled. The second time was immediately after the authorities raided the Neverland Ranch in November of 2003. Michael Jackson's manipulation and psychological and emotional abuse continued until days before his death. Listen to what I just said to y'all now. They said this went up until the days before his death, right? They said that Michael Jackson's employees, advisors, lawyers, and doctors were aware of Michael Jackson's abuse and aided and abetted him by both facilitating and concealing it. They said for decades, Bronca, McLean, and other Jackson advisors, representatives, and employees acting for the estate and its entities, along with lawyers, doctors, managers, security personnel, house managers, publicists, maids, chauffeurs, and pilots working for Michael Jackson and his entities, all the foregoing collectively, the Jackson organization knew of and facilitated Michael Jackson's sexual abuse, PDFing. A number of Michael Jackson's victims have now been identified publicly, and there are others who have not been identified publicly. The Jackson organization arranged for interstate and international trips during which Jackson sexually assaulted them. Members of the Jackson organization purposely booked plaintiffs hotel rooms near Jackson's rooms so that he had immediate access to them. When a Cascio parent accompanied one of the youth on a trip, the members of Michael Jackson's organization intentionally booked the parents' room far from Michael Jackson and the youngin, so that the parent would not see them spending long periods of time alone in Michael Jackson's rooms. The Jackson organization procured expensive gifts and arranged shopping trips that Jackson orchestrated as a part of his grooming of the plaintiffs. The Jackson organization members providing those services knew that Michael Jackson was sexually abusing the plaintiffs, right? Sexually abusing the plaintiffs and many other youngins. Michael Jackson organization members constantly encountered evidence of Michael Jackson's sexual activities with the plaintiffs. They saw Jackson bringing victims, including these plaintiffs, to spend the nights in his private bedrooms. They did the children's bedding and laundry. They bought the PDF videos and the photographs of unclothed youngin to Michael Jackson. They procured the drug and the alcohol that they knew Jackson was going to give the youngins to make them comply with his demands. They saw the youngins and other youngins inebriated and in alcohol-induced stupors. They regularly witnessed Michael Jackson's inappropriate displays of affection to the youngins, including Jackson's fondling his victims in public spaces at the Neverland Ranches and elsewhere. They followed Jackson's orders not to disturb him when he was alone with the youngins, knowing that he was sexually violating them. They installed security systems at Neverland designed to prevent outsiders from discovering Jackson's crimes. Think about what I said to y'all. These are all the things that they're accusing. This is diabolical work. This is diabolical work right here. Right? You ain't even chipped off the iceberg. I want y'all to think about what I just said to y'all. Right? So, and I'm going to say it again, man. Where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. I'm sorry. You're not going to come out here and spit in my face and tell me it's raining. Not happening, Jack. I'm cut from a different cloth, punk. Weasel.
With 12-year-old Gavin.
Weirdo.
I'd found this easily the most disturbing moment of the past 8 months.
You know, some have, and they say,
Is that really appropriate? When you're talking about children, we met Gavin. And it was a great privilege to meet Gavin because he's had a lot of suffering in his life.
Yeah.
When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact that he shares your bedroom.
Yeah.
Can you understand why people would worry about that?
Because they're ignorant.
But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's not a worrying thing?
Why should they be worrying? Who's the criminal? Who's Jack the Ripper in the room? This is a guy trying to help heal a child. I'm sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor. I gave him the bed because he has a brother named Star. So him and Star took the bed, and I'm on the floor in the sleeping bag.
Did you ever sleep in the bed with them?
No. But I have slept in the bed with many children. I sleep in the bed with all of them. When Macaulay Culkin were little, Kieran Culkin would sleep on this side. Macaulay Culkin's on this side. His sister's in there. We're all just jamming the bed. And we wake up like dawn and go in the hot air balloon. You know, we have the footage. I have all that footage.
Is that right, Michael?
It's very right. It's very loving. That's what the world needs now. More love, more.
The world needs
more heart.
The world needs a man who's 44 sleeping
No,
in a
you're
bed
making
with
it.
children.
No, you're making it all wrong.
Well, tell me, help me.
Because what's wrong with sharing love? You don't sleep with your kids or some other kid who needs love, who didn't have a good childhood?
No, I don't. I would never dream of sleeping. I would never dream.
You've never been where I've been mentally.
What do you think people would say if I said, well, I've invited some of my daughter's friends round or my son's friends round and they're going to sleep in the bed with me tonight?
That's fine.
What do you think their parents would say?
If they're wacky, they would say you can't. But if you're close family, like your family, you know them well, but
Michael, I wouldn't like my children to sleep in anybody else's bed.
Well, I wouldn't mind if I knew the person well, and if I'm very close to Barry Gibb, Paris and Prince can stay with him anytime. My children sleep with other people all the time.
And you're happy with that?
Fine with it. They're honest. They're sweet people. They're not Jack the Ripper.
I suppose the problem for many people is what happened in 1993, or what didn't happen.
What didn't happen?
Just cast your mind back. What was that like when you first heard the allegations that were being made against you?
It was shocking, and I'm not allowed to talk about this by way of law. So,
but how did you feel about what was being said? I'm not asking you to talk about what was said.
I was shocked because God knows in my heart how much I adore children.
But isn't that precisely the problem? That when you actually invite children into your bed, you never know what's going to happen.
But when you say bed, you're thinking sexual. They make that sexual. It's not sexual. But we're going to sleep. I tucked them in. I put little.
Like, share, subscribe, man.
Hey guys, Ticket really hopes you enjoyed the content. There will be a link in the description box and pinned at the top of the chat room where you can go to the Ticket TV merch shop and purchase the exclusive merchandise for men and women. Thanks for your support, and he appreciates all sales.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure y'all click those links below. Subscribe to the podcast show. You can donate support to the channel, Cash App, PayPal, or buy that weight loss formula. All the links are below. Peace.